Hello, everyone and no one, and welcome to another Rotten Movie Reviews, which, wow, is all I can say. I don't know why I never watched this movie earlier. We are reviewing the original 1974 Gone in 60 Seconds, which really has next to no fucking plot, but with me as always, it's Tier Alexander. Tier, how you doing?
I'm doing great, my friend. And wow.
And then joining us as well for this endeavor is Angela. Angela, how you doing?
It sounds like you guys liked this movie.
This is a
Yeah, cars.
honestly for everything, and then seeing the thank you message at the end for it looked like a person who did like the car crashes and car choreography and everything. It honestly looks like they made this movie strictly to showcase how these people could drive,
Well,
Yeah,
because
I'm
the freaking
good.
storyline is just so according, it's like so everywhere else, and like there's so little of it.
I was gonna say there was little to no storyline in this,
It
which is
was.
probably why I could not stay focused on this.
So I was reading the main guys who got the in Love and Memorial of
Mhm.
is the his Wikipedia page,
Mhm.
and for Gone in 60 Seconds, it said that Halleck wrote, directed, produced, and starred in the film Gone in 60 Seconds in 1974. There is no official script for the movie apart from several pages outlining the main dialogue sequence. Halleck supplied most of the cars, used repeated footage of the same vehicles and shots of public incidents to increase the footage. The scene in which the train derailment is observed but not part of the original shooting script. It was, in fact, a real train that derailed. When the director heard about the wreck, he wanted to incorporate it into the film. This wasn't even a film. This was just I was bored one day and let's just do something stupid.
This is quite literally the epitome of I've got an idea for a film. Well, I've got more of a rough outline, and we can do some really cool stuff with cars. So that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, what I got was I like cars. I like to drive fast. I like to crash. Let's do
Mhm.
these things.
I'm a pretty talented person when it comes to driving. I have a lot of the stuff for it. I'm gonna showcase that. And you know what? I'm all there for it, something like this. Because
Yep.
1974, this is where it's like, honestly, after the 90s is where they stopped taking so many chances. Like I can't remember what movie it was, but it like they did something similar in a way, except for it was supposed to be of a ninja, and they had a guy from Japan, Japanese, trained in ninjutsu, and they're like, we want to do this thing with it. So they asked the asked them if they could direct it, and the guy had never directed an action before. Just directed like commercials and fucking dramas or some shit. I don't
Mhm.
remember. And quite literally, he has everything written out and directed for the script until it gets to the fight scenes. And the guys who, and because the main guy who plays the person that knows ninjutsu and everything is also a fight choreographer, and he goes, "What did you want to do for the fight?" He goes, "I figured you guys would be able to take care of that. Um, what do you want to do for that?" And they're like, "Oh, we're getting say in this. Oh, we're gonna have fun."
It sounds like the plot that was it Nine Deaths of the Ninja? It sounds like Nine
I don't
Deaths of the
know. It's the
Ninja.
movie that where they have like quite literally have the Asian dude chase down a fucking van on foot because
Nine
part of the
Deaths of
thing
the
was to over showcase of like how like over the top and like otherworldly he was supposed to be being such a highly trained martial artist, and like that's what this was. And like I know they had to add more storylines to Nicolas Cage one, and for so much of it it was so dumb. Although I'm not gonna lie, I loved the freaking heroin scene. I always love how they can taste it and somehow know it's heroin. It's like, how much drugs are you guys doing?
Ninja. Yes.
That's always been my contention. Some random dude.
Yeah, this is our way. Mhm. This is just fucking baby powder.
And that was like the whole thing, because okay, we have in this one, because there's the when we watched the Nicolas Cage one in 2 weeks, They have that scene as well, except for that one, it was they boosted a car that wasn't on the list. But in this one, again, it's the whole thing of the drugs. And it's funny because the guy's like, that was 1.5 million of heroin. It's like, how the fuck do you think you're going to sell that? You have no connections. The person knows that it's like the dealer's going to know that it freaking got stolen. So he's going to be, he or she, or probably most likely at the time frame, but he is going to be on the lookout for someone to try to move 1.5 million of heroin fast. Like, you just trying to get yourself killed.
Yep.
I just noticed something that's going to be really funny in 2 weeks.
What?
Aww.
Well, at least I think it's really funny. We're going to be reviewing the Nicolas Cage Gone in 60 Seconds for episode 60 of Rotten Movie Reviews.
Nice.
Ah,
That is
sweet.
kind of funny.
Nice.
But yeah, just for so much of this movie, it had zero plot. Although
It-
they did do some fun stuff of like, okay, for the explaining of how cars and whatnot got stolen, and he has to go and what was it, the Plymouth or whatnot that he had to steal back basically, and that whole thing they fucking just had that thing straight demolished. It's like, okay, if you're gonna put something on a goddamn car lot, why would it still have the fucking license plate? Like the person who buys it's most likely going to get a new license plate. Why wouldn't you just take the license plate off? It's always a weird thing to me.
I mean, you'll never have a perfect
Yeah.
thing, but again, longest car chase scene. That most of the runtime with this one car chase.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they waited till the end to just have one hell of a car chase. And oh my god, it was that was just dumb fun. Like quite literally, if you are a car enthusiast at all, like the high speed pursuits, you have to watch this movie if you've never seen it.
Yes.
I still like this whole thing for the trivia on IMDb. It says according to people on the set, after the mishap when the driver missed the mark and caused Eleanor to hit a real light post at 85 miles per hour, the first thing that HB Halicki said when he regained conscious was, "Did we get coverage?"
Damn.
Oh, geez.
Like quite literally, this was
That is
just
dedication to craft, man.
Yep.
oh yeah, this was just a whole thing of pure passion.
I mean, again, he supplied most of the cars for it, so of course. But this was wow. Again, I liked it.
Okay, see, I like cars. I like action, but I have to have a storyline, and there wasn't one to follow on this.
Vroom vroom go fast.
And that's not the storyline. Um, there wasn't enough of a storyline, and for me, the cars weren't pretty enough.
It's 1974. They're not looking at all of the. They're looking at predominantly muscle cars, but I mean, they had a really
Yeah,
good
but
variety.
they were muscle cars, but they
Mhm.
were
They,
you
I
gave for some reason you
go ahead.
like if you for some reason gave your muscle car to your wife to use as her everyday go to the grocery store car.
Well, I mean, it was 1974. Stuff like that was done.
And
I'm pretty sure that was the case.
I was just like, really? I was sad. I was looking for pretty cars. Like
When they were going through the whole thing of having to give the original Eleanor that they stole back because it was uninsured, I actually will say I thought that was a really neat little add into there. Was hey,
That
we're
was-
only stealing cars that are insured so
That
the
are
owner can
insured.
still get something back out of it.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome. But I was really disappointed because I love the Ford Shelby.
Yeah, but instead of it being in 1969, it was in 1973.
Yeah, and she was ugly.
Well, you got to remember, like it's the different of the time. So the 1969s weren't as popular around then. For
Yeah,
most of what I can say, like the 69s tend to be the most popular nowadays, and that really didn't hit until like the 90s.
I'm
So in
pretty
that
sure in
time
about
for
10 years they'll be
yeah, in that
74 to be popular.
in that time
I'll
frame,
admit I
they were
didn't like a lot of the stuff.
yeah. Well, in that time frame, they were wanting to use what would be considered like the hot commodity at that point. I was still kind of surprised for having the six black dudes in the one car and the driver being named Billy and having his fucking name on the door.
Yeah,
I've seen shit like that before, but typically on cars that are meant to race.
I was I want to know how many shots the jump that they did, because that couldn't have been one take. That had to be multiple takes.
Oh,
I
that
want to
that
know how
if
many.
that wasn't multiple, it's like that had to be multiple takes and most likely multiple cars
Yes,
because a jump like that will fuck up a car.
Yeah, no,
yes,
you got him out after a car like after a jump like that.
Oh yeah, like that car. Well, like you could definitely tell for so much of it that they were, that they had replaced tires and everything because like the whole
yes.
freaking front driver or driver's side fender is caved in, but the tires and everything still got like that fucker would have
Hmm.
blown out by that point. I did at
Yeah,
least like when he got rid of it, they had the tire wobbling, and that was fucking hysterical of how like they swapped the cars out and that whole thing. Which like it's a yellow Mustang, and when she sees it, she just passes out because it's the other person's.
yes.
Oh,
Oh,
like the way they tie it
the
around it
black guy
every.
with the tire, the tiger. That shit was
Oh
fucking
my
hilarious.
god, that.
That was so cool.
Oh
I
god.
will admit that caught my attention. At least the tiger was cool.
Yeah. Oh man.
I mean, they went very unique for how they stole the cars. Step kept to a very big
Hmm.
thing. I kind of wish they'd have shown how they got some of like the really really fancy cars that you definitely have to like
Hmm.
hit properly. Like I think they mostly wanted to just showcase the muscle cars the most, other than the one semi that he jacked, which was like the
Oh
weirdest
man.
thing to me. Why it's like okay, this list of like 40 something cars or vehicles, and one of them's a semi.
Uh, now I see where they got they got the scene where I forget the guy's name and the actor. Let me look it up really quick. There's an actor in the original, the Nicolas Cage Gone in 60 Seconds, where they do the exact same thing with the cocaine.
Oh yeah,
And when I first saw it, mind you, I didn't see the remake, or sorry, the original.
yeah, because the guy
So
they
that
have acting for it, he's doing the whole, or it's like who is playing the cop. They have him going further and everything, or it's like
yes,
revving it up more instead of just backing it up.
which it should, if you were going to do a shot for shot, well, not a shot for shot remake, but a homage, you should have had him back it up like they did in the current one.
Yeah,
What is his name? He's a famous actor. Like I've seen him in a ton of shit.
That's the more
the guy who
recent one.
plays the detective.
Yes,
Yeah, I also know he.
Delroy Lindo.
Yeah, I also know he was in like the one with Jet Li.
Yeah, his name is Delroy Lindo. Okay. Uh,
Yep.
uh, from what I remember of Gone in 60 Seconds, it the plot is not one to one. Even though in this one there was no plot, I think they should have just kept with the original concept. Just fast cars go vroom.
Well, it was the 2000s, so they thought they had to add more for it. I mean, at least for
I
the writing, they still had HB Helke in it,
Mhm.
but they just had to have the whole thing of like it's kind of like a throwback to it of a person who used to steal cars instead of that whole thing of like how they were doing things,
Mhm.
and now he's got to go back to stealing cars to save his brother. I do like how they got the title for it, and that whole thing of how you had the Goodyear blimp and it's sitting there and it's like, be sure to lock your car. or it may
Yes.
be gone in 60 seconds.
Yes.
Or I still think the other one that was great was one of the vehicles they stole where they got in the first police chase, but he's being chased by the drunk, and then he returns the car because he found out whose it was, and he's like, "Oh
Yeah.
no, I know who this person is. I want him to try to see get his way get out of this fucking shit."
Oh, come on now. He stole my car.
Like that shit was funny.
Yes. That was terrible. Ah,
Okay. I am actually looking forward to the Nicolas Cage Gone in 60 Seconds. This movie just made me want it to be time to watch that movie. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh no,
sorry.
it's the whole thing of like not again. It's one of those things. Not every movie is for everyone.
yeah.
Like this one was just good fun, good. Shut your brain off. You don't necessarily have to pay attention as much, and just have fun. Watch fast cars go vroom.
Mm-hmm. Though I wish they had more tits.
Ugh.
What I say?
Exactly what I should have expected to come out of your mouth at some point during
It's the
review. But
Well,
'70s.
don't
now
worry
I kind of
about
want
it.
to check out Heileker's other two works that he's done, because apparently there was supposed to be a
Yeah,
Gone in 60 Seconds 2, which they did a short
but
for in 2003, but I guess he wrote it in 1989. But he has
yeah,
The
and he died.
Junkman and Deadline Auto Theft.
I don't think he. Yeah, he stars in it. Yep, he's the main character.
Yeah, in both of those, he's the two that I'm looking at. Seems to be the main character.
You know who Neil Breen is? He reminds me of Neil Breen,
I
where
do
he
not.
writes and stars, and he directs, writes, and produces his own work and stars in it as the main character.
That's how some of them do it.
Yeah,
There was like one of the alien movies and whatnot. It's like science fiction movies or whatever that was supposed to be aliens. The guy who wrote and directed also played the main alien. That's a bad guy or some shit.
ah,
And you can't forget someone like Dan Aykroyd in when he was in the movie with oh god damn it, where he plays the old man judge. He also plays like one of the
you were talking about it's the one with Chevy Chase, and
yes,
I know you're talking about. I can't remember the name of the movie.
yeah,
But
but
it has
like Dan,
Chevy Chase, John Candy. Yeah,
yeah, and in that one he plays like four different characters, and he's directing it. And a lot of times while he's doing the directing, he's like still in full costume. So,
I know the movie if I saw it.
so the really funny thing for that one is like apparently you can.
Nothing but trouble.
I think
I think it
so.
is Nothing But Trouble.
Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, John Candy, and Demi Moore.
Yeah, that is. There
Yes.
it is.
Yeah, apparently for playing the what's supposed to basically be like the inbred retarded children, there was multiple times that he's in the full getup, the diaper for the getup and everything, and
Yeah.
behind the camera directing. So you got to think he wrote, directed because him and his looks like him and his brother wrote it. So he wrote, directed, and starred in multiple roles.
Well, Dan Aykroyd did a lot of writing for a lot of his films, including Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah. Well,
But
well, Ghostbusters as well for the original too. A lot of that shit was ad libbed just because,
Yeah, that was most of that was ad lib.
but they could ad lib. They
well,
well they
there
also
was a solid script
yeah
presented that was written by him and
Harold Ramis.
yeah
Harold Ramis.
Harold
Sorry.
Ramis. Thank you.
I corrected myself. I realized my mistake.
You did.
yes, but a lot of what they had put in there is because they went through and tried it and that whole thing, but quite a bit of it ended up being ad lib. But it was the whole thing of it would just see how it went. Like they had the script if it needed it, but they could still ad lib because even though at that point I want to say it was Bill Murray and Ramis didn't get along as well, they still could perform properly because they were professionals.
No, they from my understanding of everything, they had a pretty tight friendship up until Bill Murray started going through his divorce, and he became an ass.
Yeah, I want to say it was during one of those movies and that whole thing to where it's like they had the whole thing, but even though Bill Murray could be an ass, he still uh could work.
Yeah. Ah, man.
But I'm still just
It,
gotta say like this. There was a few cars I definitely wish they would have showcased more, like the Manta.
oh yeah.
That would have been neat.
I love really quick the last ending bit where he's where you think the cop is going like notice it's him. He puts his hand on his gun,
Yeah, if you
and then
stay,
the bit
he tells him how to
And
get to
then
the
just
highway.
gives him direction.
yeah. Hey, wait a minute, and he goes, "Yes, officer," and he puts his hand on the gun like, "Oh, you just go this way." Like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
You needed to touch your gun for that? Is your brain in your gun?
Oh, it's one of those things. It might have been. It was probably just a little fun thing to throw people off, and that whole thing. But there are officers that will
I
legitimately do
was
that because they
thinking
don't want it to
that.
flop around. Because not all officers would they have that drop holster like that. Use the thing that goes around their thigh to make sure it's
Mm-hmm.
not moving around. Because if you're going to use a drop holster, that's the best thing you can do. You saw it pretty heavily in like westerns as well when they would do the cross draw or that partially canted slung,
Mm-hmm.
or it's like calf holster or a drop holster. They would be tied around their thigh. That way, it's not flopping all over the place. I still
Yeah.
think it's funny of like for some odd reason how the one dude's shirt was freaking torn when after he called and snitched on his buddy.
Yeah. Fucking snitch. That was some
Did
bullshit.
you not know it was gonna happen? The guy turned around and made him cancel his frickin' honeymoon.
Still, fucking snitch.
Well, the fucked up part is like the dude was less pissed about the honeymoon and more pissed
Then the
about them
cocaine.
than the heroin.
It was the drugs. He wanted the drugs.
Yeah, because he thought he was gonna be able to sell it and make a whole bunch of money, not realizing that fucking would have put his ass 6 feet under.
Right?
I fucking
Oh
hate it when
well.
people do that. But yeah, I wish they would have showcased a lot more of the cars because like you saw
I wish
one of the rolls, a couple of the it's like basically like them getting into the vehicle and driving off.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have at least liked to have seen them like arrive where they were supposed to arrive to drop it off.
like I said, I was looking forward to pretty cars.
Pretty cards go wrong. Again, I liked it. 10 out of 10. We'll watch it again.
Yeah, I still say it's a fun movie. It's not for everyone. If you're looking for a lot of really flashy cars, probably ought to just watch the 2003 or watch like Triple X or something that has some flashy car, or watch like Fast and the Furious, the first couple of them.
Which is hilarious because I don't like the Fast and the Furious movies because the stories suck.
The
You don't
first
watch the
The
Fast and the
first one
Furious for
was
the
good.
story.
the first two
The
movies
first
I
one was
like.
good.
After that, I like the first two movies and I like Tokyo Drift.
I actually did like Tokyo Drift, I'm not gonna lie. But I
Angela,
liked the first movie and I liked Tokyo Drift, and that was it.
Angela, you don't watch the Fast and Furious for the storyline. You don't watch it for the plot. You just
I
see pretty
don't
cars go fast.
I don't watch movies.
And Tier, you got it all wrong. You know, especially after you get past like the first two and past Tokyo Drift and everything. You don't watch it for fast cars. You watch it for family.
Family.
It's
So dumb.
Yes, it is.
Granted, I did like their introduction of. Oh, god damn it. He's in the second one, then they have him play bigger parts the first one, or in the later ones, the hip hop artist, not Ja Rule.
You're talking
Ludacris.
about Ludacris.
oh
Yeah, I liked him.
Ludacris Bridges.
And what's really funny is in one, I think it's in the one in Brazil or the one after that, to where when they have the Rock there, and I think it's like the Tyrese guy or whatever says oh, you know, so and so's here, better hide the baby oil. And then the retort that the Rock hits him with, he had actually ad libbed. So Ludacris's laughter in that is actually genuine.
Hmm.
But yeah, like the first two were fun for those, and it's still funny when you look back and see what they were stealing was like not even 20-inch TVs that have a DVD combo in them. Like we're talking old tube TVs, and then like DVD players on top. It's like the tube TV DVD player combo and all that, and it's just like, wow, I forgot how old this movie actually is.
Yes. Man, again, I liked it. I'm probably going to find a way to get it and watch it again.
Oh yeah, it's just a good dumb fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's quite literally a I want to watch ridiculous, like pure ridiculousness, and I don't want to have to think about a plot. Because like Angela said, there really isn't one. Like you get a little bit at the beginning, and there's not even a final payoff. Like after he swaps the cars, you get to see the six black dudes in their vehicle and it catch on fire, and then being like, oh man, I wish I could find that white boy, not realizing he's in another Mustang next to him.
Right next to him. Again, the last chase sequence, the plot goes out the fucking window.
Oh yeah, for the last thing of it, it's just straight. We're going crazy on this.
Balls to the walls. Let's just do whatever we feel like.
Oh, it was just so fun in my opinion. And after all of the movies we've watched recently,
It's good to have something like this.
it was nice to shut your brain off.
oh yeah, because like Bringing Out the Dead was a good movie,
But depressing.
but depressing. And then 8mm
Yeah.
before that. Oh
Oh,
my god!
I took a shower after that one. that one,
Like to go through those two movies, and we were like, okay, we're gonna look at Gone in 60 Seconds. Like, oh yeah, by the way, I've got the original. You guys want to watch that one first? Totally fucking worth it. What's up, Travis? Like,
what up, Travis?
just straight up fun popcorn movie. Shut your brain off. Like,
You really have to be able to shut your brain off for this one. Like, I
yeah,
don't
this
that
would
my brain has that level of off.
this would be closer to the stereotypical guy movie. Doesn't
I
mean
think
doesn't mean women
that's
can't
really
enjoy
what
it,
it was.
but it was definitely put towards guys that just want to, especially for that time frame, that just want to see vehicles doing crazy shit.
Yes.
See, I would gladly sit there and watch not the stupid movie they made of it, but like I loved watching the Dukes of Hazzard, not for the people, but for the General Lee.
Yeah.
Them Duke boys. They had it again.
I wanted their car.
You wanted General Lee with the Oh, Angela, I'm offended. You wanted the General Lee with the Confederate flag on it too? Uh-uh-uh. Uh-uh-uh. Dang.
Hell, I'd have taken it if it had the stars. What do you call the Union Jack on it?
Yeah, there was someone who made the yeah, because you had the General Lee, and I'm trying to remember who the Union's general was.
General Robert E. Lee.
No, for the
Ulysses
Union.
S. Grant. Grant.
There was someone that made I don't remember what the model was, but they got the same year, I want to say it's General Lee, and made a General Grant that had the O1, but then had the Union Jack on the top for the Union, just to kind of fuck with people. Because that's like for the Dukes of Hazzard, they had like 3 or 4 cars. One that they could constantly prepare for whenever they would do the jumps and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
another one that was just meant to be in like pristine condition for like the pull up scene, the takeoff
I think I
scene.
found it. Yeah, I think I found it. I'll share it with you, and I'll just save it to the general chat. Um, Thank God I'm using my computer. Doodle doo. Easy to do.
Apparently, I'm getting hit by bots again for fucking messages.
Uh, Check the general.
General. Yeah.
That's an amazing looking car. I want one.
Oh, that's pretty. That's the Star Spangled Banner, darling.
Yeah, they had the
The
old
Union
Union one
Jack
though in
is
that instead.
the Union Jack though is the British flag.
Oh yeah, that's right. I couldn't remember what the fuck it was.
Uh,
Because at that point though, it wasn't the stars and bars.
I don't think they have that version.
I'd seen it somewhere because like they had one next to it, and
This is a
I
pretty car too, though.
yeah, I will definitely say I liked it how they went to as you know they had the whole thing. We're gonna refer to the cars by name instead of by their model.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually was liking that at least they kept the Shelby as Eleanor.
I mean, but they were professional. They from what seemed like they were professional car boosters. So, and they were
Oh
aware that people could be listening in. So if they spoke in code,
yeah,
it'd have been fine. So I get it.
oh yeah. Then they
Again,
had go ahead.
but I was about to say, honestly, the only thing I wanted from this movie, there should have been some payoff to like certain little things, but other than that, this movie is just great.
I mean, quite literally, the only thing we're looking at for all the other stuff is to see what ones they put upon the callbacks from the it's like from in the new or the remake to the original.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like I did like that the Shelby was still called Eleanor and one.
Yeah.
Um, I have to say, and it's gonna sound absolutely horrible, but it had me rolling how they turned around and had the most stereotypical black kids joyriding during the day.
Oh yeah. Fucking just straight joyriding, smoking weed, drinking beer.
Yeah, talking
Dying.
shit.
I was just going, oh my god, people would throw back their head and howl today.
It would have been glorious.
Oh yeah, and then just like the ridiculousness of the eyewitnesses when he's talking with the one guy that's like, "Oh, I was barreling down the road, almost killed like 500 people." It's like, dude, there's like 40 people there. There wasn't even
Yes.
500 people in that block. fucking stoner. Although I won't lie, I loved the old woman before they interviewed her. Of like when they're driving through the park and she smacks the Mustang and she smacks the fucking cop car with her umbrella. And she's trying to be like, I even broke my good umbrella. It's like, well, if you wouldn't hit a fucking car with it, woman.
Right? I liked the little old couple sitting on the bench talking about,
Oh
oh,
yeah,
we hear car crashes all the time. Really?
yeah, we come here
Yeah.
daily.
I'm like, yeah, we come here every day. I'm like, how many freaking car chases happen on that strip?
Oh, it wouldn't be car
Yes.
chases. It'd just be fender benders and whatnot.
I was joking.
Man, that is some dumb shit.
But I was just like, oh my god.
Okay, if memory serves me correctly, it's been a while since I've seen the 2000 Gone in 60 Seconds. One of the callbacks they do have is it's still a Cadillac Eldorado for the drug car. The only difference is in the original, obviously, it's white, and in the remake, it's purple, I believe.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think you are you are correct, sir. No, wait a minute. You are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
Technically.
It's a reference.
It's a Futurama reference. This boy's going to be a bureaucrat.
It probably shouldn't be a shirt.
But yeah, this is just such a fun movie for if it's up your alley for that whole thing. It doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah. Angela requires more story. I require more tits. Yeah.
This is
Uh,
Tears. Okay. Tear and I fight when the movie touches on angels.
you talking about City of Angels?
On Tear's side. Well, because every time it's been something that involves angels or anything like that, Tear and I will end up in an argument. We even argued in Dogma.
We did, didn't we?
Yes, we did. But and we both liked that movie. I
Yes.
absolutely love that movie. But what now?
Well, it's like I
This
won't.
movie will be the one where you and I will argue because of me.
I'm not gonna argue. I mean, again, it's like you said, you didn't like it because you require more story, and I get that.
Yeah.
I really do. Like you said, the story is literally ass. It's bare bones. It wasn't outlined. It probably didn't even have. It had the. All right, I want to do this. All right, good.
Yeah, quite
We'll do
literally, it
this.
was. We're going to talk about a little bit of this stuff and like the theft of cars or taking cars that are supposed to be considered junked, but swapping them out with a twin car.
Yes, I was actually like really into the beginning part where you had the chop shop
Yeah,
just
Mhm.
taking like the serial numbers and stuff off of it. I was into that. I was sitting there watching it going, okay, we're getting into a different aspect of this.
yeah, they could have made an
But I
entire
could
movie on
deal
that
with
one.
that.
Well, well, I won't say cleaning cars, but it's if it's considered junk, and they replace all the parts with basically newer shit, they can just sell the car. It's junk. You gave it to us. You can't do shit with it.
Well, that's why, like I said, it still made no sense to like, oh, we're gonna put the fucking license plates on it. It's like, why? Let the
Yeah.
fucking person uh who buys it frickin' go ahead and do that. And if anything like that, it would have made more sense to been like, hey, we want to sell this out of state.
All right. I will openly admit that I now further inspection, the concept for the remake is better. You're doing it for a thief. This I get that makes better. This is where they improved on the original movie. It gave a reason to why they're doing this, other than a vague, nebulous.
Well, there was
It
still the
also gave
reason.
you a reason to care about the characters,
Yes,
which is
because
a big deal for me.
yes,
because
because for this one you had the slight part of it. Before he goes to the wedding, he goes and he talks to the freaking South American drug guy or drug lord, gets the part of it like the 200,000 up front, then goes through and has to tell him, hey, we got this that you're gonna have to be a part of. I know it's gonna fuck up your honeymoon, but like you're still a part of this, so you got to be here.
Yeah.
The whole "there's three of us and we can vote you out" thing made no sense. And then what's her name's hair was fucking ridiculous. Pumpkin.
Oh,
yeah, like
that
you're a criminal
was another
organization.
thing.
What the fuck?
That was another thing. Pumpkin, really?
Was annoying.
Did she have a real name? If that was her real name, her parents should.
No, that was what he called her because like
No, that was her real name. And if you go to the Wikipedia page and look up characters, Pumpkin last name, like that's her real name.
Yeah, her parents need to be horsewhipped.
Pumpkin Chase.
I can't say that because I knew a girl whose name was literally Skeeter. So
wait a minute. Pause. Rewind. Say that again.
I know a girl whose real name given to her at birth was Skeeter.
Eater?
Skeeter.
Skeeter. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
She was named after her grandfather. Or she was named by her grandfather, not after her grandfather.
Clearly.
And I will say it's kind of funny. There's a lot of this cast that it's like they're in there as themselves.
And I was
okay.
I was like looking at it, going, I recognized two people the whole time, and one of them I can't even figure out where exactly I recognize him from.
Apparently, the mayor of Carson City was at the actual mayor of Carson City, Saki Yamamoto. Was the
the K Fox announcer and interviewer played themselves.
I actually was wondering if this wasn't like essentially an ad for a town that was up and coming. Like, come live at this place. We have these cool cars and do awesome shit.
Yeah. One better. I wonder how much of it was really like you had to block off a lot of highway and shit like that.
But back then, it was exponentially easier to get away with a lot of that.
Also, as far as I know, that area isn't actually really densely populated.
Okay. So shit for a budget of what? 150,000 and made 40 million? Yeah, not bad.
All of the police cars damaged in the film, the garbage truck that overturns, 3 fire trucks, including 2 waiting for the cars to clear and another one stopping to put out the fire, were bought at city auction by Heilicke in 1972 for an average price of $200 a piece.
Really?
Nice.
Oh, they apparently got a lot of people, like a lot of the cops and everything that were in there, the cops, firemen, paramedics, were actual cops, firemen, and paramedics.
Well, you'll want those make them sound like a commodity. You'll want those on the set of your film where you're flipping cars, shit like that.
Yeah. With the exception of a few cast extras, the bulk of the bystanders in the film are general public going about their business. This caused several instances where people assumed a real police pursuit was in progress, with many trying to help accident victims. For example, the scene in Carson City off ramp where the two cars collide after mandarin drives against traffic. A pedestrian can be seen in the background shouting angrily at the passing police cars for not stopping to help occupants. Much of the crowd at the gas station where Harold Smith is pulled over after the nighttime torrance chase were part of a real biker gang who verbally abused the police officers, arresting the actor and demanding they leave him alone. Ronald Halicki, the director's real-life brother, plays Cloyd's Pace in the film, operating the crane that lifted Jill, the Red Challenger, to its fate in the car crusher at the junkyard. Motherfucker, this... You didn't make a movie, what you made was a fuck.
Oh,
I
like quite literally so much that's just like, you can clearly see how a lot of this was the sources for like how things like Thanksgiving were made. People thought
Yes.
Thanksgiving had more of a storyline.
It did, unfortunately. I have to acknowledge that.
Well, quite literally, they gave enough reason for the cars to be stolen, and then went through everything else.
Yes.
Well, like I said about Thanksgiving, it was just the gingerbread man with the turkey.
Pretty much. I don't remember which
That's
one came
really
out
bad.
first. But just this, I don't care. This was a dumb, fun movie.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
I'm having fun talking about it.
I still like
But,
this
like-
though. Go ahead.
You first.
Looking at it, it's like, as of that I'm aware of, because you got to remember, this movie is an hour and 37 minutes. 40 minutes of it is the final chase. So the pursuit is the longest car chase, 40 minutes, in film history. Takes place through 5 cities as he attempts to lose the police.
God damn.
Yeah, I was actually kind of starting to recognize the names of some of the streets that they were talking about. I was wondering if they might have gotten down this far. Well, not this far, but like North County here.
But yeah, this was just such a good freaking just turn your brain off.
But yeah, like the only people that I recognized one of the cops, and I recognized the secretary from the car lot.
She was anything major?
No, neither one of them was in anything major. They usually play like side characters.
One of the
But
funny
they're the only people that I know have seen someplace.
the really funny thing is when they brought up the address for giving Eleanor back. The address that was used was Heilicki's actual home address at the time.
Oh, oh,
Motherfucker straight doxed himself
yes,
and did not
he
care.
on film. Wow.
So in the film, we have 6 Cadillacs, all of them Fleetwoods so far. At least 2 Lincoln Continentals, a Studebaker, Mercedes-Benz. Okay, we got a Cadillac Coupe de Ville, the Freightliner, couple Rolls-Royce. Like, I'm surprised they didn't do more for, like, showing a little more of the rolls. Freaking, I know why they didn't. They were trying to keep this as low budget as possible, and that's why they went with the most modern freaking cars that were available for so much of those.
Well, some of them were cars that Halicki owned.
Oh yeah, that's how
So,
he did a lot of stuff, but he didn't want to have to fuck them all up and everything.
well,
I mean,
true.
you gotta think a 1924 Rolls Royce Silver Ghost.
Oh, you're not gonna fuck
Yeah.
far up. Oh,
Because like that's the earliest one. You got the 1930 Studebaker Dictator,
Mm.
1953 Chrysler Coupe Elegance. Ooh, 1962 the Ferrari 340 American.
yes.
Oh, my dad would love this one. The 1969 Chevy Corvette Stingray.
Ooh, I won't want it.
Oh man, that fucking 1969 De Tommaso Mangusta. Oh, that's a beautiful looking car.
Bless you.
Like you can't see what I'm looking at that one because I'm going through its wiki and that. Just holy shit! Like
Oh no, I'm on the wiki too, and I'm looking at it.
a fucking 1927. Oh wow, that's like almost like a Model T. A
I
Citroen
also had models.
B14 Conduit.
If I had to pick a car, I want Michelle.
Michelle.
Yeah, the Stingray.
Hmm.
Okay. Never mind. You were talking about in this movie. I
Yeah.
don't remember the names of the ones in this.
Oh
Well, if
no,
you
well
bring, we're looking at the wiki and
Aside
whatnot.
from
Yeah.
Eleanor.
if they're
I
gonna
mean,
refer to it by the we're gonna refer to
granted,
them by
I
those
don't
names.
like. Oh, they got a lot of them that are in there that are really freaking nice. Those
Oh yeah.
the Tomasos are really nice. The fucking Lamborghini they had in there is one of the really early ones, and ooh, I like that body style more than the new ones.
I don't know. It's something about the Stingray that just calls to me.
Well, the Stingray for that whole thing. Okay, my dad wouldn't like that one as much because the one my dad liked more was the split window coupe,
Mm-hmm.
which is a beautiful fucking car.
Small, it's elegant. It calls to me. One of these days, I'm gonna have enough money where I can get me whatever I want, and I will get me a Stingray.
I'm still looking forward to eventually fixing mine. A 1969 AMC Rambler. Oh, dude, that's Studebaker. Oh god, I love those. That's an old fucking coupe. That's the old classic cars. You most likely had like, if it had rear doors, the rear doors were suicide doors.
Ah,
Oh yeah, dude, look at the fucking Studebaker Dictator. That fucker is beautiful, streamlined, round, just gorgeous, and it's a sedan of
that's
all things. I don't care. I love it.
mhm.
Those are a car that I want. I don't think I have that. Let's see. That's the wrong thing. Over. Uh, and boom. Yes, I can bring it up. And then go back over to here. Go to share screen.
Go over here.
And this. So you guys can see what I'm looking at.
Oh yeah.
Like, I would love to have one of these. Like, so,
Ba-dum.
like,
I'm looking for some old pictures. Um, from when I was in junior high school. My uncle had a Model T that
nice.
was parked in front of our house forever. It was gorgeous. It was this um like hunter green. Oh, amazing. Beautiful car.
See, my AMC Rambler is going to look a lot more like this, except for it's actually got a pearlized gold uh, car color.
This one's a little boxy.
That's actually how a lot of 1969s were, depending on what they were.
Yeah, that's like I like the lines of early 60s. Like 64 Ford Mustang is absolutely gorgeous.
Mm.
Um 57 Chevy Bel Air is my dream car though.
Well, since I have that up, we have the Studebaker. Okay, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Go there and no, there. What was this one? Whatever. But these ones actually look really cool.
That is oh.
Like those are sick.
See, now those are freaking beautiful cars. If anything in this movie looked like that, I would be very happy, girl.
Now I will say this: this Lotus looks weird, mainly because of that ass end.
It
That is
looks like it might have some damage around the wheel.
plausibly.
It looks like the wheel doesn't fit the body. If you look at it, the wheel is extended further out,
Mm-hmm.
and the chassis.
It's
Well,
the front wheel is kind of turned.
yeah, and some vehicles have done that to where they would go through and put the wheels actually more offset. It's kind of a popular thing for certain specific things for them to do.
Ah,
Yeah, they definitely had some good freaking looking vehicles, and it was just still weird the fact that one of them was a goddamn semi truck.
Hmm.
All right, I'll bring that back down. Go over here. Stop sharing. That one. 67 pony.
Got one. Why not use it in your movie, right?
hmm.
I mean, for some of it and that whole thing, he's just gonna go through and showcase them.
Blessings of the Mad God, Shagorath. May you bless me with cheese.
Bless you with cheese.
The character that Shagorath is named after is the Mad God, Shagorath, the Daedric Prince of Madness, and he blesses you with cheese. Cheese for everyone.
Okay.
Well, not for you.
And now there's
He blesses
Cheese.
me with cheese.
Now, all I can think of is the guys from Top Gear and that whole thing of how the one of them he just takes that fucking block of cheese and sets it down on the fucking counter. He's like thunk cheese.
Mhm.
But yes, don't really have much else to say about this movie, other than yeah, if you're looking for a movie with you're not caring about the really having much of a plot, don't mind it being just turn off your brain because I want to watch cars go fast and watch stuntmen do weird shit. It's definitely there. I still don't know how the hell they paid for the tiger though.
It could have been a loner, if you will, or it could have been
you
a
know that tiger you've got in the backyard. Let me borrow it for a movie.
shit. People owned weirder shit. Siegfried and Roy had like 1 billion of them.
It was just that was just the funniest thing. He gets in there after staring at the woman's ass for a while, or at least her backside. 'Cause it looks like she's got something written on there. Gets in there, hears growling. You're like, oh great, I'm gonna have to deal with a dog. It's a fucking tiger. Like he didn't even go back for
Fuck
his.
out there.
He didn't go back for his glasses. He grabbed the fucking his briefcase and just fucking booked it.
Yeah, would you fucking stay there?
I was gonna say, are you hanging out? You can get new glasses.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised he didn't at least try to close the door after him.
You can't get a new life.
Oh yeah. But that was just a fun movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'm
Again,
glad you guys had a good time. I am enjoying talking about it, like I said, so it's not a complete bust of a night for me.
there was a woman selling batteries down by the park. She sells seashells by the seesaw.
Bust not tongue twisters.
She sells
Clearly,
sea cells by the seesaw. That is so bad. Somebody's messing with me because of my Betty Botter.
What?
your
Thing.
what? Betty Butter baked a bitter butter.
Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. And I'm not going to do it again because it's long and.
Big Bo's bitter batter for better batter butter.
Bottle water.
I have a stutter. You don't want me to try to say it fast.
All I can think of is the video that I posted where it's supposed to like, I don't know if I did it on Twitter to where it's the this should be easy. It's just British. Betty bought a bit of butter, but the butter Betty bought was bitter. So Betty went and bought a better butter, and it's the cat. After going through it fast, just like bottle water.
Yeah, I think he did post that.
Uh oh yeah, they can't all be dark. Some of them just had to be fun. And that
We
whole
can't all
thing.
suffer.
Well,
But
I mean,
again, after the last two, this was good.
oh yeah, this was a much needed, but not even realizing how much of a palate cleanser it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sorry for having you come in so late on that one, Chio, and that because I think we're gonna wrap it up here. 'Cause there's not really too much else to say. And this was a short, just fun movie.
It was.
We'll get to have fun discussing the one. Maybe we'll have James and he's gonna play contrarian for contrarian's sake, because that's what he's gonna do. He's been known for it. I think the only one we didn't really have that one with was Kiss of Death with Dave Caruso. Just
Isn't that the one you guys all hated?
no, because like
No.
And I
it was
wasn't
actually
there
really
for
good.
it?
It's the only thing that we were kind of sad about was the fact that Michael Rappaport's death scene wasn't longer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh Jesus, yeah! Don't ever change.
For Halloween, I brought
Not bought a George Floyd mask on eBay. Had to send it back though. When I put it on, I couldn't breathe.
Sheo never change.
But we're gonna get out of. Go ahead,
Even a
Angela.
little.
We're gonna get out of here. For everyone who watched now or in the future, appreciate you watching. Honestly, it's a 1974 film. You can probably pick it up very cheap or find it from perfectly legitimate websites. I'd actually say if you can buy it, buy it. It's just a dumb fun movie. Like it's one of those ones that I'd recommend, just like I would for Tremors. I'll recommend Tremors way more than this movie, the Tremor series, because
Tremors is good.
oh yeah, well the last three movies weren't the best.
I'm
But
still pissed at the last movie.
Shrieker Island was not that good.
They killed Bert.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm still a little sore about it. Just a little sore.
Well, I do know that it's probably not so much anymore, but they did talk about plausibly retconning 6 or even potentially the ones after the series out. And Michael Grossman was plausibly or was said he'd get back into shape for it.
I'd be more than willing to.
I
Yes.
mean, he's gonna be. No offense to the dude's in good shape and everything, but he is elderly or getting older.
No, he's older. He's elderly
Yeah,
because he was old when I was a kid.
yeah.
Not like old,
Man.
not like old, but I mean, when I was little, Family Ties was
Well, like he would like
a
okay, the
thing, and
first
he was
Tremors movie
like
came
in
out in
his
like the '90s, and he
30s
was
or
already
40s.
in his 40s. You know, so he you add another
He was
20
up
years on
there.
that, so it's like he's up there, and I think the man's deserved a break, or earned and deserves a break. But we're gonna get out of here. So uh send offs. Tier go.
Uh, uh, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your week. Hope y'all enjoy your Easter. Great movie. Watch it.
Angela.
Go to the movies.
Oh, didn't you go see the new Ghostbusters as well?
I did.
Was it
It
good?
was. It was. It was good. It was not as good as Afterlife, and
Mm-hmm.
it was a little bit thicker with its um wokey agenda, but still not unpalatable. It was a good movie with a couple of things where I was like, yeah, sure, you had to throw that in.
Uh, that's not a
Like
good sign.
I enjoyed it. I was able to push past those couple of parts because the movie itself was not, as a whole, was not bad,
Okay.
and in fact was quite good. But like I said, Afterlife was better. If you haven't seen Afterlife, I definitely recommend that one.
I mean, I'm probably not gonna watch anything other than the original two.
Yeah,
They didn't
that's the
really
only
need
one that
anything.
exists to me.
Well, there we go. Go see this one. You can go see the new Ghostbusters. I'd say even go check out Bringing Out the Dead. It's actually a pretty good movie, but like I would say if you're gonna watch, I'd honestly say avoid 8 millimeter. But if you are gonna sit through it, definitely keep a movie like this movie, the original Gone in 60 Seconds, for something afterwards, because you're just gonna want something to not make you want to kill someone, probably.
And do
Mm.
not have children in your house.
Oh yeah.
You are watching Gone in 60 Seconds.
Well, for this one, it's not that bad.
Not Gone in 60 Seconds.
8 millimeter.
8 millimeter.
That's the one.
Bringing
It's
out the dead,
the
probably wouldn't
numbers are
like.
the
You'd
wrong.
want to have like you'd want to be them be in their elder teens. But we're gonna get out of here. So appreciate you joining, and we're done. So you guys. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Join us again next week, or you can check out the other people in the panel in the description and see us again plausibly on one of their channels, or just check out what work they've done. Have a good week, everyone.